or afternoon or hello in any way. Happy Monday. Welcome to a brand new week. I hope you've got some creative energy in there somewhere, and I hope you had a really lovely weekend. Let me know what you think about sound. Are we all good? Because I know what I have here doesn't always match what you get there, so I'm trying to work on that. So, okay. Anyway, I hope you've had a good few days. I'm going to walk us through today everything I've made with the January kit so far, and then I've got a request from you. I need something from you today, and it's a direction with the background paper. So let me walk you through all this. Let's see what's on the desk. So I have got everything so far all journaled, all finished. So we started off with balloons and stencils. Then we did some super little layering, love that sort of thing, in a big color blocked background. Sticking together. Then we did a central composition with 3 doilies. and stenciled the outside of a big 6x8 journaling block. Yeah. Then this one using the 3x4 cut apart, but as a whole border piece instead of as individual pieces. Got the writing on this one. I can't remember if I showed you this on Friday or not. I think I did. So most of it just in normal handwriting, but with a little bit of brush lettering thrown in to kind of call back to this sort of lettering, although obviously that's not my handwriting, so my handwriting in brush lettering is going to look different than this artist and their handwriting in brush lettering, but you know, that sort of feel. Okay. Similar peachy color here, but with then this one was quite a cool toned mix where we've got the peachiness, but then put it with pinks and blues and turquoise. Here, sticking with the warm end of the color wheel and going yellow, red, bit of green. Yeah. Okay. And then this was Friday's. Big old piece of that vellum, which is looking lovely. 3 doilies there. And all the little cut apart pieces that I could manage from the Maggie Holmes cut apart. Yeah, journaling down here at the bottom. So that's where I am with this kit so far. Oh, Elaine says the mic is scratchy. You know what? I wore my hair down and I thought, is this going to cause a problem with the mic? And I tested it a little bit before, but I bet I just did loads more moving right now than when I tested it. Okay, I might even pull my hair back properly. I'll grab a rubber band in a minute and tie my hair back. Okay, so that's what I've done so far with this kit. Yeah? All right, today. So I have the photos that were not chosen on Friday, because Friday I did a vote. Did you want to see these or these? And these won on Friday, but only by a little bit, so I'm going to do the other set today. And Georgia says the vellum page is her favorite so far this year, closely followed by the cooking page. Yay! Thank you. I'm glad you like. So I've got these 2 photos today. Now these are the same size as the Peter Pan photos, because guess what? The Canon N-Up function is still not working for me. I tried today and it would let me print some photos as an N-Up, but not these photos. It was showing me like half my photo library. I don't know. The app is glitchy at the moment, but it might just be my phone. I don't know. So anyway, this one zoomed in a little bit more. That one shows a bit more of the scenery. So I'm going to put those 2 together. And we are wearing matching hats. I don't know if you can see. And then his dungarees are the same pattern. And that was all made for us by Little Gun Tank in Australia. And so the pattern is all 80s and 90s VHS Disney covers. And then his front pocket is like a VHS videotape. All right, so the question I have for you, the thing I need your input on. I don't have any full sheets left in the kit, so I have to pull backgrounds. What kind of background paper would you like me to pull? I mean, it is Disney themed, even though we're not at Disney, so I could pull something slightly magical. Or I could even go a little vintage. Do you want me to pull out a sassafras background? An October afternoon background? What do you want to see? So while I do a little sketch, I would like you to tell me what kind of background you'd like. Claire says, did I miss the snap? Did I miss something? The snap. I'm so confused. What did I miss? But yeah. Oh yes, the hat is very much Blossom, and that's why I love it so much. I loved Blossom as a kid. Yeah. And I loved that, I don't know if anybody, do you remember Beaches with Bette Midler? And that had Mayim Bialik before she was in Blossom, and she tap dances. And I knew that Mayim could tap dance, and then when she was in Blossom, I knew that she was a tap dancer, and that made me love Blossom even more, even though it didn't have anything to do with Blossom. Yeah. The picture snap. Oh, Georgia, I don't have room in my head. That's why I asked you for help. Georgia says, what do you want to work with? What's your favorite paper from the stockpile? I can't make that decision today, and that's why I wanted help. Okay, Claire says, oh, did you just miss seeing the photos close up? Is that what it was? Sorry. I was trying to make it, I was trying to figure out if that was a Thanos reference, and I'm like, do I have to Thanos snap half my doilies or something? Is this an Avengers meets doily overflow joke? I don't get it. But those are the pictures, Claire. Okay? Okay. All right. So we got some votes in for October afternoon. We got some votes in for Sasa. Joe says Mayim has an awesome podcast now. I haven't looked at her podcast, but I'll have a look. When WB was a tiny baby, I read her baby parenting kind of book, which admittedly was some things I agreed with and some things I didn't, but that's okay because that's parenting, isn't it? So it's all right. Oh! I got you now, Claire. I'm sorry, it's this snap she's after. Here you go. Haven't done it. I left them on just for you. This is the snap. I get it now. I get it. It's the ASMR. Ready? I'll be nice and quiet. I'll get the microphone close. There you go. Is that your day made? Jolene says she's not a fan of vintage. Oh, Jolene, when I say vintage, I don't mean like it's vintage in style. I mean like it's been in my stash a long time and I love it and I'm never letting it go. I mean like scrapbook companies that don't exist anymore. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. George is like, I don't like vintage paper. Does that include Georgia doesn't like October Afternoon or Sasa? You only like, oh, is it because you only like white and crispy? Are they two not white and crispy? Okay, so sketch-wise, let me show you the sketch and then we can decide what paper to put it on. All right, so I got two photos. I got to take those borders down, but it's okay. All right, so it's a Monday. Can I draw a square? I feel like I'm getting better at drawing square. Oh, I feel like I'm getting better at drawing squares, but still the inside space is rather squarish. I do think I'm improving. Next time I'll probably get it totally wrong. Okay, so we're gonna bring the photos to this rule of thirds. If you haven't heard me talk about thirds, let's do that, because I mean, I've done it many times in my scrapbooky video world, but I haven't done it recently. So in case you're new around here, let's look at this. So rule of thirds means dividing something into thirds, yes. So there's 3 columns. And then let's do thirds the other way. And there's 3 rows. Yes, which means I'm drawing a hashtag across my sketch, or I'm drawing a sharp symbol if you're more into music. I'm drawing noughts and crosses, whatever you want to call this. The pound symbol on the old phone, that we don't call it the pound symbol anymore. Any of those things. Not pound like money, pound like that. Okay. Anyway, whatever you want to call that grid that turns it from one big square into 9 smaller squares. Yeah? Okay. So these lines are really lovely, pleasing divisions of the canvas to our eye. And the points where they intersect, these 4 points here, are the strongest visual points on the page. If you read in English or any other language that starts at the top left of the page and goes to the right, then this one is the strongest. It is where our eye goes to first, because it's the natural, it's our natural tendency to know that we need to read from the top. And that's why newspaper headlines start here, because you'd have the name of the newspaper up here, and then your big headline would be right here, and you'd probably have a picture there and text down here, yeah? Because it's using that same concept of where everything is. And that's why you might find that the newspaper has a column down the side and they put the little things here. Or wait, websites also have little things down the side here, but big section here quite often. Yeah? Okay. So I want to use this section today. Right, moving on. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk on rules of thirds. Okay, so I'm going to have 2 photos, and they're going to be, oh, not that overlapped. I overlapped it a little bit too much here. Here you can tell they're photos because they have smiley faces. Yes? And then I'm going to use this 1/3 of the page to be pattern. They're probably going to need to go over a little bit more. I may have drawn them a little too far over to the right. Okay. So this is going to be a pattern. Okay. This is going to be that background that we're going to choose. Yeah. And then these are going to have layers around them. Surprise, surprise. I think there's probably going to be doilies involved. So here's a big circle here, and here's a big circle here, so that we've got kind of a mini diagonal here. Yeah, that's a doily. That's a doily. Yeah. Then journaling along here is what I'd like, which means title can go in 2 places. Sophia says, I want to know what you're going to do with the paintbrush once you've sharpened the pencil down to a stump. I'm never going to sharpen the pencil down to a stump. When I start getting near the Mickey, I'm going to stop, and then it's just going to be a souvenir, because I don't want to sharpen into this bit. It's too precious. But I do want to use it. I feel like I want to use it. Okay, so 2 places the title could go, so it's in pencil so that you can choose. And I can choose, because I'm not going to decide until we get some more stuff on the page. I mean, I need to find a page first. So the title could go up at the top above the journaling, or the title could come down here underneath. Yeah? Options. And then you can layer more stuff in and around here if you want. And we'll see how we go. Okay. So here's the sketch. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. Now to choose a background. So let's get the papers that I have in the kit out, and then I'll give you a couple options. Yes. Right. So we have this. And I feel like these cameras could come out to play today. Oh, and I wanted the circles. Oh, will the circles and the cameras go together? Let's find out. Oh. Whoops. Okay. Pink. Sky. purple, bit of yellow, and I want to use these today. Oh, Georgia says Maleficent looks very tidy today. Well, I've got you fooled, but thank you. Right, so I'm going to find some paper options that might work with this, and let's include some Sasa and some October Afternoon, but also let's pull out some things that might be a little bit more white and crispy. And I might need to pull my hair back. Okay. So we've got this option. We've got something in here. We've got something in here. Let's have a look. So do I have anything that can make that strip down the side? This is a very good question. I just realized. Because I've done this sketch with the strip down the side, but do I have anything that still has a strip? I don't have anything that has a 3x12. Oh, what about this? What about this? I have this. Okay. Which is flowers that really don't go. Or pink, which I wasn't expecting to use today. So let's see. Right. Georgia says, there's a lot more paper left than I thought. Could you stick it to white cardstock and then make it into a 12x12 sheet? Not today. I do think that's going to happen. But remember, I've still got, January's got a lot of Mondays and Fridays. So I still have 3 lives today, Friday, Monday. Yeah. Okay. So this is one option, which is kind of black and white. This is Studio Calico, but designed by the Sassafras team. Okay. Here, what have I got? I'm kind of interested if I've got something that pulls out the blue-yellow combination. I'm not sure that I do. Oh, Christmas. Don't need Christmas. Is that all Christmas? What I pulled was Christmas. I don't want Christmas. Come on. Oh, is that Cosmo? Oh, Cosmo. Might have a look at Cosmo. Okay. This is October Afternoon. It's not Christmas. It's not speaking to me. The blues are not the right blues. Okay, give up on that. Okay, October Afternoon is out. No. Bye-bye. Put all that one away. Yeah. Sassafras options. I gotta use this soon. I love this paper so much. Okay, soon. I'm going to put it on the top of the stack so that I use it soon. But it's not today. Oh. Hello? Am I allowed to use that for the 3x12? Down the side? Okay, that's in somehow. Because that's like perfect. Okay. And then Julie says, we don't mind if the kit gets used up and you go off kit for the last January live, but I mind because I have more ideas than there are lives. But yeah, I already had that sketch in mind, so I don't want to change gears too much or there'll be so much faffing that you'll be sick of me. And you'll be like, seriously, Shimelle, just pick an idea and go with it. So, right. Okay, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. What hurts your eyes, Georgia? This yellow. Or just Sasa in general. Because you're not a Sasa fan. Last thing I was going to pull was here. This is Cosmo. Cosmo Cricket. I feel like this goes really well with this kit. I'm going to put that at the top of the stack in case I need another background before we're done, but I think it's okay. Okay. Oh, what's that? What's that? Oh, it's strips. Okay, hold on. No. I need something more neutral. And I'm looking at all the fun things and not neutral things. Green. Yeah, it needs to be more neutral. Oh, hold the phone. Okay. Oh, Georgia. Georgia hates sassafras. The 70s floral she doesn't like. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I mean, you can tell me if you prefer this, but I think this is maybe too busy to combine those two. But I think this is like 80s rainbow stripe. What do you think? Yeah? Oh, Debbie points out, it's such a good idea to flip through your stash paper now and again, which is one of my favorite parts of scrappiness and keeping ideas and things in mind is that every day, almost every day, I pick one shelf from my cupboard of magic and I flip through it just to look at it and then put it back. All right, I'm going to cut off this branding strip. I'm going to do my face cam speech and then we're going to make this happen. I promise, even though I'm starting with 2 backgrounds that are not from the kit, which does make me feel a little weird, I am going to make it kit-like because everything that's going to go on top is going to be kiddish. Kiddish is totally a word. Okay, copy then speech. Hello. Hi, my name's Shimelle. I teach online scrapbooking classes, design scrapbooking products, and help you use them to tell your stories in a creative way. It's not just my hobby, it is my job, and that means anytime you scrapbook on the internet, it's considered advertising, and legally I have to make sure that you're aware of that. So thank you for coming to watch my #advertising, as always. And if you ever have any questions about that, you can leave a question anywhere you can leave a question. In the comments live, in the comments later, on Instagram, on email, whatever. If you've got a question about how it works behind the scenes, just ask. You can also find a lot of the answers in the description box below. And that includes the link to this month's kit, which is called January Best of Both Worlds kit. What I'm going to use next month, which I'm really excited about, which is called the February Best of Both Worlds kit. And we're really changing gears for a color scheme because it's nice and bright pinky, yellow, turquoise, happy, cool colors. And you'll find links to my Instagram, my classes, all that sort of stuff in the box below. So if you have any questions beyond that, just let me know. Thank you. Let's scrapbook. All right. Okay. Oh, Pam says when she organizes, she gets sidetracked because she's having fun looking through all of the collections and papers. I think we all know that feeling. All right, so this branding strip's going to come off, and originally, like I did in the sketch, I was going to tear it. But then I went and chose a paper like this that has this epic border piece. The epic branding strip of all branding strips. So we're going to use that. Okay. This actually has a grid in the background, so nice and easy to cut it. But of course, you know, if you're tidy and don't like scissors, you could do that with a trimmer. Okay. Move all these papers. Is the microphone rustling too much? I think I got a reason to fix it. Or a reason? A way. Aw, thank you for the lipstick, love. Right, let's see if this helps the microphone. Okay, all the kit paper is coming over to the right here. Oh no, Bev, we were talking about old papers and stuff. You haven't missed any scrapping yet. Okay, so this is going to go down the left edge here. Now, I do really like this same composition with tearing and having it feel a little bit more collage-y. So I might sometime soon do a video where I use a very similar composition, but show you the difference in making it clean edges like this versus more organic shapes. Oh, Minim loves my dress. Thank you. I couldn't remember if I'd pulled this dress out for live. And I was like, oh, let's put all the purple things in the January wardrobe. So it was funny because I started this kit thinking that every page would look really purple, and it looks considerably not purple. So I think I will have to do a special purple close to the month. That was CLOSE to go with my CLOTHES. There we go. Now I want this to be brown as well. Just using brown distress ink for these edges. Nothing fancy. And these edges you probably won't even be able to see on camera, but I can see them and it bugs me if they're not done. So there we go. Right. I just remembered that we have washi tape in next month's kit, and I'm excited about that too. All the things, all the things. Do I want this right up to the edge? I think I do. Okay. Yes. Let's figure out where the photos are going to go. We're going to get them matted. I'm very happy about finding that stripe. Because that stripe feels like so many clothes that I wore in the 80s and 90s. And in case you missed the very beginning, we're wearing outfits here that are covered. Well, my hat and his whole outfit is covered in 80s and 90s Disney VHS covers. Yeah. I'm very much hoping that these will still fit him by the time I get to take him to a Disney park in warm weather. He is growing, but hopefully it'll still work. I have a countdown again, which is very exciting, but I don't want to get too excited in case it doesn't happen, but I'm still excited. Okay, so they can overlap this way because obviously I don't want to overlap on top of I could overlap a little bit there, but I think this with the empty field here is the better call. Okay. So let's look at the papers I can mat that with. So I've got some yellow. Yeah. I can mat one in yellow. Let's do that. Jackie says the stripe reminds her of the handwriting paper in primary school. Yep, I can see that totally, where the middle line was like, or the top and bottom lines were different colors and things like that. I got so confused when they started doing handwriting at school in WB's year, and he came home talking about laser lines, and I was like, I don't know what that is because I have most definitely never had a handwriting lesson that involved lasers. I was so confused. And I think part of it was, have you seen the scrapbooking product or paper crafting product that has a laser line in it? So it's a trimmer that instead of having like a wire or a ditch for you to line up where you're going to cut, it has a little red light. Yeah. And so when he started talking about laser lines, part of my brain went automatically to that scrapbooking product. I'm like, surely they're not teaching kids how to handwrite with like those little lines across the desk, because you're never going to have that when you're writing any other time ever. And it turned out that laser lines was just a name for the lines at the top and the bottom on the handwriting paper to be like the top of your uppercase you should go almost to that line, but don't touch it or you'll get burned by the laser. And I was looking for a literal thing and not like an aid memoir. So I was failing miserably. Right. We're going to have these. Now, what else we got here? I need more matte layers. And I have, where's the 3x4 that I used one strip from? And then not the rest, because that's here somewhere. Oh, here it is. I can see it. Okay, so I also have this. Okay. Oh, bit of Christmas got in there. So what's the back? Oh, the back side of this is navy blue. Well, don't you know it? Okay. Now, what do I want to keep here? I think this one will be most useful. I cut from that side. Okay. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one who would have thought that way. Courtney says with all the technology they have in the classroom that she would have been looking for something literal too. I was so confused. Claire would like a laser line to help her journal. I swear they need to bring journaling genies back. Hands up if you've been scrapbooking long enough that you owned or at least knew of a journaling genie as a product. Because it was a genius product. It was so useful. What did I do there? Okay. So a journaling genie was a plastic template with evenly spaced line gaps, yeah, in all different shapes, but you could get just basics. And then you could move it around on your layout to find your journaling spot, and then pencil the lines in, write your journaling in ink, let it sit for a little while, and then come back and erase your pencil lines. Now, admittedly, because then you got to figure out like, how do I keep this product going? You then could buy journaling genies in every shape you ever needed, like cookie cutters. So like if you wanted to journal in the shape of a gingerbread man, they got you covered. But it was so simple and useful. Oh, and Pam remembered something I'd totally forgotten. There was a pen, an invisible ink pen. And so you could use, instead of a pencil and eraser, which admittedly is, not hard, you could use an invisible ink pen and draw your lines, write your journaling, and then the invisible ink pen would disappear. Yeah. Debbie says Mercy Tiara still has one and is still using it in her videos. Amazing. Yes. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay. So we got this blue coming out to play here, and then enjoying that. I'm not enjoying the line I've cut right here, so I'm going to sort that out. That's better. Okay. We're getting there. I think this one's going to need popping. Yeah? I think that one should be popped up. Now, Kit, the cameras. Let's look at those. Oh, and I was going to say, and I've got black and white, which I just threw off the side of the desk by accident. So maybe that was a sign that black and white is not meant to go on this page. Now, I had this purposely so that I could use a whole horizontal strip of these. So I'm going to go ahead and make that horizontal strip a thing. Ooh, hand is shaky. And then I have all the others that are free to use as a cut apart in any position. So, right. So that's my piece for another page, but I got all of these. So let's see what we've got. Could bring in that green. Quite nice, actually. Bring in that green. Why is my hand shaky? Lisa, I was the same. Lisa says she never trusted the invisible ink pen wouldn't just come back years and years later, like it might yellow out, so it would be invisible for a while. Oh, how funny. And Claire says you could just make your own with a silhouette or a cricket or whatever. Oh, Pam has the one with spiral lines. I really liked the one that was a spiral for a while. There was a time I was using that way, way too often, but it was fun. When Elaine was an office junior, she addressed the envelopes with a ruler. And she'd write on top of the ruler, and then you'd have to go back in and add the tails to the G's and the Y's. I had a teacher who had us do that, and I remember, right, and it was envelopes, you're right. It was like you had to address a formal letter in class, and you used your ruler, and then you had to go back in and put the tails on, because there were tails in the name of my school. And I remember thinking, how many times is it going to take me? How many envelopes am I going to go through before I get that G tail in the right place? Okay. Let's see what other cameras can go on here. No. The blue, though? I was so nervous when we started today, not because of the scrapping, but because highway maintenance, we're not on a highway, but road maintenance, showed up to repaint the lines on the road behind. And I don't know, like maybe they all wear ear defenders or something, but they were shouting at each other. And it was so loud that it was coming in through the double glazing and everything. I'm like, oh my goodness, I've never known people to just have a conversation on the street quite so loud. But I think they've all finished. Huzzah. Okay, I'm not so sure about this neutral one, but I'm going to give it a try. All right, and let's ink these. Oh, spammer. We don't want you around. Bye-bye. Okay. They're gone. Still don't understand the whole point of that phenomenon, but whatevs. Okay. Now, we're going to put these in. And I think they're going to kind of bubble up and down. I didn't put them on the sketch, but it's okay. Doilies, where you hiding? Where you hiding? There they are. How am I going to work in the peach? Kim, you're right. I don't think they do spend time like addressing envelopes and stuff in school like we did in the day. I think they pretty much think it's going to work out. You're just going to fill in a template on, fill in some sort of template in a word processor, I guess. Although, I don't even know, I don't think kids today call it a word processor, do they? What do they call it? I have no idea. I'm going to ask WB tonight. What do you call the app that you type letters in or reports or whatever? I wonder what he'll say. I have no idea. Georgia is young enough that she learned how to use Google in school because it was brand new. Aww. I love watching kids do the lesson now where they first learn how to use a search engine because they search for they search for things that are going to give you like infinite results. So his class had done a bunch of screen caps of the things that they had searched and turned it in on the online classroom. And the number of kids who'd done a search for things like cute dogs. And I was like, oh goodness. Like, when does the internet end if you search Google for cute dogs? It doesn't, right? It's just going to go on forever. But they had fun. But yeah, not quite so practical. Now, I think this color is going to work, but how are we going to do it? The blue one over here. Oh, and then I've got blue against blue. Okay, hold on. Here. The blue could go up here. And the green down here. Okay. I'm starting to see how it's going to work. Oh, Ask Jeeves. Yes. I do remember. I remember that. Oh, I got more spammers. What's your deal? Bye-bye. Yes. I don't know how that how the what am I looking for? The learning curve works for when obviously this technology all exists for them. And like, you know, I'm from the Oregon Trail generation, the computer game, not the actual Oregon Trail. But so they learn, quote unquote, how to use it in school, but it takes a long time to actually get to a point where it would be really purposeful. Yeah. And you're not just searching for infinite pictures of cute dogs. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. A lot of people saying that their kids are using Google Docs for their word processor, but they still call it Word. WB has said Google Docs before. He definitely knows what that is. Because I remember him saying, he came home talking about docs and sheets. And he was like, Mommy, I'm ready to go to work for you because I learned all about docs and sheets today. And I was like, sorry, you learned about what? Docs and sheets. I'm like, what? Oh, Google Docs and Google Sheets. I got you. Yeah. Yes, Elaine used WordPerfect before Word and Ami Pro. I used First something. Why do I want to say First Choice? Was that something? Or was it First something else? Yeah. All right, have I got all the backings off those? Yes. So it's going to go in like that. Popped with Papios. This one's going to go in here. Sarah says, how old is WB again? 8? Yeah, 7.5. Yeah, 7.5. Yeah, they start early. They have a programming class, and last week their teacher's out with COVID, and so they had a cover teacher, and the cover teacher wasn't able to do the computing lesson, and he was gutted. But here's the other part that's really funny. On Friday, they missed 2 things, computing and the spelling test. And he was like, what's the point of practicing for the spelling test if we don't have the spelling test? I was like, WB, most people would just be like, phew, I didn't have to have the spelling test. I'm wondering why this isn't sticking. It's because I didn't put any adhesive on it. So, yeah. I don't know. There's a little bit of Hermione in there. Debbie says she still remembers the music from the Oregon Trail game. This is too angled. Yeah. I've played the Oregon Trail game with WB in an attempt to try and explain a little bit about American history. And oh my goodness, he was just like, so what do you mean? Like everybody tried to get across the country and they all died from dysentery. And I'm like, well, I mean, not exactly all, but we're starting something here. I don't know. We needed more books. This is gonna go here. I started using angles and now I'm liking things straight. And you know why? It's because there's all these stripes in the background. So I'm gonna straighten up the things that are angled, if I can. Come on. There we go. Georgia would be with WB on the spelling test. What's the point of doing all the practice if I'm not going to have the test? Okay, so maybe this one has to come kind of between the blue and the neutrally one. This is still not sticking. Yeah, there's a start there. Okay. Ooh, Debbie says she's reading The Pioneers right now about Americans after the Revolution moving to Ohio, which was then called the Northwest Territory, and that it was pretty rough. Yes. What I was going to pull out was there's American Girl books about the crossing, isn't there? I'm sure that's in my American Girl library. Don't knock American Girl books. I'm a huge fan of the old original. I mean, they're not old, but not the more modern commercially ones, but the ones that were really historically accurate. I love them a lot. Yeah. And yes, I do mean the same company that has the dolls. They also did these books that followed the adventures of girls in American history. Oh no, Sebastian also had a substitute teacher. Last week, Sebastian's bus was late to a sub. All of the kids enjoyed the extra time except for Sebastian. He complained that they were supposed to be in school for the whole time. They're not supposed to be late. They're on the school bus. Oh, yeah. See, I know that you're out there, American Girl book fans. Yeah, they're so good. And I love that they did not shy away from being uncomfortable. There are books in that series that are brutal. And they're just like, well, this was life for this particular person. Thank you for not sugarcoating. Do I want lots of nice, happy stories in my library too? Yes. But do I want some history that actually says, no, this is really what happened and it wasn't pretty? Yeah, I want that too. I started to think like teacher brain there. I don't want people thinking like, I didn't want my students thinking that life was, all sunshine and daisies for the people that came before them and laid those paths. Yeah, that was really important to me when I was teaching. So I used to bring in American Girl books for my students. And now I have a little library of them at home. Okay. Although right now he's racing through a series of unfortunate events and it's adorable. These books have a sad beginning and a sad end and very few happy things in the middle. Oh, it's so clever. And I love when he reads something that I've read a long time ago. I used to do one of the series of unfortunate event books with my year 7s. And so I've read the whole series, but it's been a long while. And I love it when he reads something that I've read, but I don't remember every detail of it because it's been a while. And he'll say something and then it all comes flooding back. And I'm like, oh, I forgot about this. And so last night I was reading up because I wanted to know, does the Netflix series, the one with Neil Patrick Harris, like the episodes are labeled to the books. Like each book is 2 episodes. So I was like, does that mean it stays true? And if he's read book 1, he can watch those 2 episodes and there's not going to be spoilers of what happens later. In doing that little bit of research, rather than just watching it twice, which I suppose I could have done. Yeah, in reading up, I had totally forgotten all of the clever things that are in Sunny's supposed baby babbles. Like all of them. None of them are just random sounds. They all have intricate meanings and all sorts of subtext. And I'd forgotten all about that. So little joys that you rediscover when a child reads something that you read and enjoyed. Debbie and Claire are amazed that I can cut circles and talk. But look, it's easy because there's a black circle on each of those designs. So all I'm doing is, let me find one more. Okay, I don't have any more whole circles, but I can do a portion of one. I want this yellow one. Okay, let's see if I go closer to the camera. I love that lots of you use American Girl books for homeschooling. Yes. Whether you chose to homeschool or landed with it, I'm here for it. Okay, so I put my scissors, can you see this? Okay, put my scissors at the distance away from that black circle, the black line, that I want to have as a halo. Then my scissor hand, stays put. And I'm just closing the blades. Now this one's quite close to the edge, so that bit's going to fall off and I have to start again. But then the left hand rotates the paper. And I'm following that black line the whole time. I'm not getting distracted by the fact that the yellow is offset. I'm just looking at the nice, clear pen line. Done. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's good enough. Yeah, and any little wobbles are forgiven with a bit of ink. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, AG has a huge library of American Girl books. I love it. Oh, Debbie says, it's easy for me, and she's getting better, but I've set the bar really high. It's okay. It's okay. You can use a punch, definitely, or a circle die. I have those too, and yes. Yeah. Okay. Oh, who are we talking about? We've got Jacqueline Wilson. Is that who we're talking about? Who keeps churning out books? I think I've only read 1, maybe 2 Jacqueline Wilson books, but they were definitely coming out thick and fast when I was teaching. Yeah. Claire says she hears what I'm saying, but she still can't do it. It's okay. Just practice. And find scissors that feel like an extension of your hand. That you too can be scissor hands. All right, let's figure out where these circles are going to go. Oh, at one point I was like, they're going to dot up here, but no, that's not going to happen now. Where are they going to go? So they're going to go, I want this blue and yellow one over here. I want the red one. No. Oh, butterfly? Yeah. Okay, I'm wondering if I can do like a miniature version of what I was thinking. So what I had been thinking before I blocked in the doilies and the cameras, was putting the circles along that third line and having them kind of bounce up. But then I went back to the sketch and did this like I had originally. So that doesn't really work now, but I think I could do kind of like a smaller version, which might mean that I take one of these and actually cut it into a smaller circle than what's printed. I think that would help. Okay, let's start. Sophia discovered unfortunate events fairly late, and her teen read them voraciously when she was 13 and 14 and loved them. The next Netflix show is incredibly well done and faithful to the books. Can recommend. Yes. Courtney says, wait, is that not how everyone learned to cut circles? No, it's not how everyone learned to cut circles. And it's something I have to keep talking about, but I'm okay with that. I'm here to keep talking about it. Yeah. Okay. She's going to show us her freehand circle skills next. Okay. Right. So all I'm going to do, it won't be as nice as the outside because I find it way easier to cut the outside halo than the inside halo, but I'm going to do it. So I'm going to cut an inside halo inside the black line that I was cutting before, and it needs to be bigger, a bigger halo. Now the funny thing here is this happens a lot to me. So I get back, but I'm not in the right line, so I have to keep going, and I end up with this little spirally bit like that. Now, this is not a circle. I've got a little point at the bottom, so I'm going to round that off. And then I'm going to use some magic ink. And it's going to be fine. Yeah. Yes. It's fine. Okay. The other thing we could do is just semicircles. This can overlap with the butterfly. I mean, I wouldn't have needed to cut that. I could just tuck the other half underneath. But I've then got a little grouping there. I want this to become a grouping, so let's see what I can do here. Interestingly, I'm not sure why. Every time I've used this paper, I've put them horizontally. I guess because there are text elements in there. And I didn't use any of them vertically. I've used them all that way. I never know what counts as make your own embellishments. This is an interesting thought. Barbara says, I love that you make your own embellishments. Does it count as making your own when you're cutting things from paper? I'm going to cheat here. Are you ready? Are you ready? I'm going to put a Mickey head on it. If you liked it, then you should have put a Mickey head on it. I mean, that was an early draft for the song, clearly. All right. Okay, but you could just do that as another small circle. Is okay. Georgia has picked up on the fact that my scissors are squeaky today. Oh, and she says hers have been squeaky and she's paranoid they're on the way out. They just need oiling. All you need to do, it doesn't mean that they're on the way out at all. They need a clean and oil. So the squeak is coming from, oh, you can see where the squeak is coming from on mine. I've cut through way too many stickers and gluey papers. Can this focus? Focus. Yeah. You see all the glue that's on them? That's what's squeaking. So your squeak is either coming from stuff that's on your blades and they need a clean. Just use some solvent cleaner, nail varnish remover, whatever you want to do. Or the other place it's coming from is from the joint, and in which case you can just put some oil in there and it'll be fine. Okay? They're not on the way out. It's all good. All right. Okay. Now, we are getting there with stuff. I like it now. I mean, am I in trouble for only using 2 doilies? But I think this is a 2 doily page. I'm liking the 2 doilies. Okay, what else can we put on this? What did I have left on the cut apart, by the way? I just want to plan. Oh, I did save the 2 that I was trying to save. Okay, so I've got a fern, and I've got that, and I could cut out a bird, and cut out a dragonfly, cut out a floral. Okay, that's fine. Now, hot air balloons? Oh, do I not have any that are actually full balloons now? Hold on, I've got a couple. If we're gonna say that cutting it out of the pattern paper counts as making your own embellishments, we might as well lean into that. Let's do it. So I got 1 balloon there. I got this balloon over here. Cutting with a halo, always easier than cutting without a halo, because I don't need to go over every tiny little scallop at the top of the balloon, or this little string of ribbons like a kite tail. I can just make it into a curvy line. Two balloons. And then this one, this is like a very, just a more saturated color or shade of that. So I'm going to use this one too. And now I know they're missing some little pieces. This one is missing a tiny bit of bucket, but I think actually that one works fine. This one's missing this corner, so it'll get tucked under that side. And this one is missing this side of the balloon, so it'll get tucked under over here. Yeah. Claire's got Beyonce's back catalog in her head. I mean, I can do the single ladies dance here if I need to, but not actually a single lady. Do actually know the dance. All right, ink, magic ink. Oh, I love that you all still love my Glitter Girl scissors. Oh, I looked at the AC catalog for this year, and I still have 1 product that's in the catalog. I still have some things that are like back catalog, but they wouldn't have included them as current products. And of all the products that I've ever done, guess what's there? It's the Glitter Girl card set. The little printed greeting cards that you can then either use as note cards, or you can decorate on top of them to turn them into fancier cards. That's the one thing that's still in the catalog. Yeah. Jamie says, Shimelle, you need a bottle of Undo. It's magic for removing sticky stuff. It can also be used to lift up photos and embellishment with no damage ever, which is a very interesting topic. You cannot buy Undo in this country. Nope. It's not a legal import here for some reason. Oh, that's cute. But I have had one before I knew it was illegal to bring it over. I had a bottle back in the day. But I don't actually find that I need it for scrappiness because of the way that I scrap. I do need to clean my scissors, but I have plenty of things that I can clean it with. But yes, if you're in the States and you can easily get Undo, then yeah, it is a useful thing to have around. But I don't have any anymore because once I used up the end of it, I then found out that you can't get any here. Oh yeah, we can buy Kinder eggs. No problem. Kinder eggs, totally legal. We understand that children understand there will be toys inside the chocolate egg. This is not a danger. We're good. We all understand there are toys in the chocolate egg. So those are fine, but undo no. Laura says, how old are the scissors now? Was Glitter Girl 2016? So coming up on 6 years? Sounds about right. Or was it 20? They might have been 2017. Let's work it out. When did the Glitter Girl collection come out? Oh, I'm going to just use that little cut that's there to layer it in. Okay, the hot air balloons might be random, but I like them. You could substitute any other motif that makes sense for your page. Sarah's friend Anne was so proud of her pair of scissors, but her teenage son broke them and she was devastated. Oh, I'm so sorry. Sarah says we have sticky stuff remover. Yes, it is similar. I haven't ever used it on a scrapbook page. Claire says, yes, Glitter Girl was 2017. Thanks. This is totally going to get gold mist on that diagonal. Sophia says she got undo from British Amazon years ago. I don't know. I don't know what the time frame is on the ban, but I remember there was a time when you could get it and then suddenly, no, this is not allowed. It was the same time that they changed the law on nail varnish in the post. It was in the same thing. It was all about solvents in the post. Bam says she has lots of Glitter Girl in her stash. All right, I need some confetti and I'm out of all my enamel dots here, so I gotta get some colors. Corey says, what's the Mickey link for this page? If you weren't here for the photos, we've got these matching outfits. Well, my hat and his whole outfit. His overalls, the fabric for all of it is made, the print is VHS covers from Disney films in the 80s and 90s. And then his pocket is a VHS tape. So yeah, not a Disney event, but Disney clothes. Glitter Girl was one of my favorite collections, only pipped by SC, says Claire. And Georgia says there is undo on Amazon. Huh. Oh, and I just sounded very Midwestern. Sorry. Well, I don't know that I have to be sorry. In the post. In the post? Oh, that's not even Kansas Midwestern. That's like North Midwestern. I sounded a bit almost getting to the Canadian border there. Post. Yep. Right. Enamel dots was what I was going for. I got distracted. That's okay. And what time is it? Hold on. Okay, we're good. Because, I have this child who likes being picked up from school, apparently. I shouldn't just leave him there. I should go get him when school gets out. Okay. Now. I love this blue. I don't know if it works. Okay, so that's one option, though. B says, do you sharpen your scissors? Yes! My scissor sharpener is right here. Sometimes I have to do it in the middle of a video. But I use these. I use this to sharpen my scissors. It's like a tiny knife sharpening block inside there, and you put the scissors inside like that, and then pull. Yeah? You can do it like closing them, but I find it much easier to just do one side at a time, then I just turn them over and do the other side. Yep, you can find that on Amazon. It's a Fisker's product, and I've only ever had one. It's served me for years and years and years and years and years. Georgia got one because I use it, and she loves it. Yay! Jocelyn says, were enamel dots around back in the day? You should use brads. I don't actually keep a brad stash anymore. Only get them very, very occasionally. But you're quite right. We didn't have them back in the dark ages. But yeah, too many fingernail accidents with brads. I stopped buying them. Look, I do have these. These are my favorite brads ever. Like, I have them in all different colors. So I do have some. But, oh, actually, would that yellow be nice? Okay, I might pull that yellow. But I don't have many. I have some pretty buttons in here that were from when buttons were trendy, and I just keep them here because they're pretty, but I don't know what I'm ever going to do with them. Probably end up on clothes instead of a scrapbook page. It's okay. Sequins. Holly leaves. Don't need holly leaves. I have this as well. Let's try it. This is an interesting pack. I think I bought this to consider putting it in a kit, and then there wasn't ever inventory to do it. But that's, yeah, that color softness, because I really like this blue with the photos, but I feel like it's too bold with the colors that I've put on the layout. But this feels right in tune. Yes? Jamie says maybe Shimelle could get a side hustle and bring back the scissors. I am not in the manufacturing business. Nope. Oh, just the few times that I do sending stuff out. It's so stressful. I can't do it. Nope, somebody else has to make them. Okay. So let's have 3 of these yellow ones and then put it with those. Oh, actually, that peach. Okay, I'm going to use the yellow today, but that is going to go with those doilies in another project. So I'm going to keep these out on my desk. And I am going to be very careful here to have no brad accidents. Because no one wants to see that, and I don't want it in my life. Those things on the back are sharp. Okay. So 3 of these. I can see my paper piercer straight away, so I'm good to go there. Oh, well, I can see it. Can I actually pick it up? And I've just realized, because my paper piercer randomly is next to some crayons, and I have to tell you this because some of you know. So the reason Box of Crayons was the name of a collection is because I find the smell of a brand new box of crayons to be one of the most inspiring smells in the world. And this morning, I walked past a construction site that I walk past all the time. And normally it's just loads of noise because they're like drilling down underneath the ground or whatever. Lots of giant machines, but I have to pass it, so it is what it is. Right. Well, come on. Today there were no loud machines. Whatever they were doing involved wax, and walking past the building site smelled like a crayon factory, and I almost cried. It was amazing. I loved it so much. Jessica hates brads but loves like the cuteness factor, and so then she gets them and doesn't use them. Oh no. Marty snips the metals off and uses them with the glue dot to save her pictures. Her pictures? Her fingers. Yeah. Oh, we're talking about the dates for International Scrapbook Day. Courtney's thrown up May 7th. I don't know. It's usually the first, is it Saturday or Sunday? It's usually the first weekend in May. Where do I want this one? In this corner here. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I have to go around sniffing construction sites now, but it was so exciting. Now, I'm going to put a piece of paper underneath this because you know what I hadn't thought about in the fact that I don't use brads very often? I'm really worried about Maleficent getting scratched. So let's have a piece of paper that I can put underneath there. Okay. No, enamel dots. So then going to each of these spots where I put the brads. That was the word I was looking for. I'm like, what are those things called? Brads. Okay, put that one there. And turning these into little triangles of joy. Little triangles of joy. That is what I like. It's important to know what you like in life. And I like little triangles of joy. Which one? Oh, maybe that one. Yeah. Okay. Oh. That's it. Okay. So I've got a circle and I've got a heart. And then there's also stars and there's also dots, obviously. I might mix the star. It feels very 80s, 90s to mix the hearts and stars and dots to me. I don't know. It feels like 90s graphic design, so that's what I'm going to go with here. Where, though, where? I love that you're all talking about the scents of different art supplies now. Sharpies, freshly sharpened pencils. Well, that's two yellows right next to each other. Maybe I don't want that one. Do a pink one. Okay, it needs a title, it needs journaling, and it needs it all in about 5 minutes. We can do it, we can do it. So what am I going to call this? So I'm going to journal straight onto these lines. I think I'm going to journal here, title here, because remember we had the option of both, title or title. Journaling is going to go in here, and I'm going to justify it against the changing left edge there. Yeah, and I'll just use the lines there to help me, which we already decided that this paper looked like handwriting paper, so why not? And then come down here. Oh, and Claire says, who even are you if you don't sniff pattern paper? AJ remembers way back in the Garden Girl days, I made an epic National Scrapbook Day video where I killed a kit in one go, and it's one of her favorite scrapbooking videos to this day. It is the same kind of concept that I used right here. So yeah, I just break it down so that you see the whole process for each layout. But yeah, that's the whole thing. Yeah. See you later, Sophia. Oh, and much love for the retroness of the smell of the mimeograph or the ditto machine. Oh, yes. Okay, what am I going to call this? And what letters am I going to use? Because I'm basically out of letters. So I need to stash dive for letters. Oh, no, they won't fit. Okay, sorry. I had an idea for some retro letters, but then I realized straight away, no, they're too big. Okay, what do we got though? Oh, this is slightly retro. Have I, like, how retro is Go Now Go? It's pretty retro. What word could I put with wander? Let's do this one, and then, because we literally just went for a really long walk in a field. Then I'll use the smaller letter stickers to add a word before wander. Yes? No? Yeah. So yeah, that's from Go Now Go, which was my travel themed collection. Have we discussed why Go Now Go is called Go Now Go? B says that Go Now Go is her very favorite collection. Pam has a big stash of it too. Yeah, have we ever discussed why Go Now Go is called that? Does anybody know? Trivia quiz. Why is Go Now Go called Go Now Go? Jane says, do you have 1 or 2 more layouts with this kit? 2, I believe. I'm sure. Yeah, there's 2 more videos. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, Friday and Monday. You don't think I should do something like Retro Wander? Oh, no, Go Now Go is definitely not a Dr. Seuss reference. It is. Pam was paying attention. I have said it before. So it's a whisper before a show. It's the very opening of the first episode of My So-Called Life. It's a black screen and there's a whisper that says, "Go now, go." And then the show starts. I'm kind of feeling the retro wandered, but does that just, it doesn't seem to gel with anybody else. The suggestions are all a little too, like, we're sticking to lots of like known phrases kind of things, like aspirational phrases, and I'm wanting a bit more realistic, I think. Yeah. Because we've got things like born to wander, and those who wander, not all those who wander are lost, and let's go wander. Yeah. Okay. Or this clothing collection was called Remix, but I don't think I can make that work. I think retro sounds nice. Wander back in time. Sarah's like, if you like it, then it's your page. No, that's cool. Don't worry. I will. It is my page in my album, and I will always overrule you if I don't agree. Don't worry. You don't have to defend yourselves. But I just I like the audience participation element, so it's okay. Wander, then rewind. It is. I said remix out loud, but it was rewind. So that's cool. Okay. I'm going to use retro here, but I'm going to put the word rewind in the journaling for sure. Okay, I'm going to use retro. I do like hearing your suggestions because sometimes we get something that I never would have considered that I end up loving more than anything else. And sometimes I get the words in my head and then I'm like, nope, that just, I can't hear anything else. I know the same sort of thing happens for you as well when you're watching, because sometimes I'll be like, I'll give you 2 options for a paper, and I'll show you one first, and then I'll have to turn around and get the other one. And the first one that's on the desk for a while, you'll all vote for that one. Almost everybody will like that one best. And I think it's because once you start to visualize it in your head, you're like, nope, that's it. I will not be moved. So yeah. Now I didn't ink these letters for the retro, and I'm kind of wishing I had. So I might, if you see this later, and it has inked edges, that's why I went back and added them. Okay, but that was just the tiles from here. Very similar size to the old October afternoon ones. Okay, so the journaling is going to go up here and gold mist, but I'm going to journal first because I keep forgetting to journal first, and then I put the gold mist on, and the droplets, you can't like write over them. You can put gold mist on top of your journaling, but you can't really write over the top of a mist droplet. So I'm going to journal first and then do gold mist kind of here, here, here. Are we cool? All right, so let's wrap this up. Claire's laughing at me. Thank you for your input, but no. Oh, it happens. It happens. Okay, so here's the sketch that we started with, and I chose the title option at the bottom, but you could do it at the top. And the sketch is more angled. I ended up going with everything a little bit more square. Yeah. All right, let's see. Ooh, this guy has changed colors since we started. The lighting's all different. Right, so that's our page for today. I'll put it back down here so you can see it. Very carefully put it down without that background. Right. Thank you so much for joining me today. A couple little things before I go. One, if you really like this, I would love for you to give a thumbs up. And if you do give a thumbs up, I'm very, very appreciative of that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you watch from Tomorrowland, if you could say hi in the comments when they're on, that would be awesome too. I'm glad that you still enjoyed, even though it was the future. So thank you for everybody who watches on the replay. And if you weren't here on Friday, you might not have heard me talk about a new project that launched on my blog on Thursday. So if you go over to Shimelle.com, there's the first in a very exciting for me project of that involves guest artists. And I've got this whole big plan of different scrappy artists, many of whom I don't think you will necessarily already know, and they're all sharing different projects. And there's going to be roughly 2 a week, so there'll be another one up tomorrow. And you can go find Andrea Lake's page on Shimelle.com now, and then you could go over to her Instagram and give her some love over there. I'm not going to do comments on the blog because it always ends up a mess, because loads more spammers comment than scrappers. And I would rather the artists be able to get your comments. So take it over to their Instagram, where you'll always find a little sneak peek of their project. And you can say that you read the blog post and you enjoyed. That would be like super awesome. Okay, so there we go. That's everything. Thank you so very much. And I will see you live again on Friday. Have a great week. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.